I'm Tia Borden with MiningIR. Beside me is the lovely Laurie Clark, CEO, founder, and director of ONYEN Corp. ONYEN spelled O-N-Y-E-N. Laurie, you have to tell us why. Why did you come up with the name ONYEN? Very, very interesting.
Thank you very much. It was actually, it came out of a very logical set of circumstances, and they are twofold. Number one, it is peeling back the layers to your data, because we're all about data-rich disclosure, and we deal with big data. We have a lot of big data that we are dealing with on a daily basis.
Now, I kind of just jumped into it, but let's go back, talk a little bit about what the company actually is, and then maybe we'll, talk about the peeling of the layers, once people understand what the company is all about.
Okay, but the second part of the first question, if I may, is that also in Asian circles, ONYEN means on the money. And our company, which is a technology software system for ESG reporting, is all about money.
Okay.
Why others think that ESG, many people think ESG reporting is about continuous improvement and doing the right thing, which is absolutely true. However, what it really comes down to is access to alternative sources of capital. And it's about money.
And everybody likes
money. And
everybody wants money, everybody likes money.
Well, certainly, the mining community and the extractives community is certainly having to constantly fundraise. And it is a very, very important part of their DNA at this point.
Now, you mentioned before we came on camera that you came out of retirement. You were retired. You were ready to go sit on a beach somewhere. What happened?
I have a sailboat. I'm a sailor. I'm a sailor. I should be sailing right now. A dear friend of mine who is in the extractives community, she is a very, very powerful woman in her own right, and she is very well known in the extractives community. She took detour. She spun out detour from 0 to 5 billion. Wow. This woman's pretty knowledgeable, very well known. She came. We were having a great dinner with
wine,
really nice wine, amazing wine. And so she was droning on about ESG and ESG disclosures and ESG reporting, to the point where I said, "You're really boring me to tears. Stop it. You're ruining this wonderful bottle and making my life very uncomfortable right now." And then she got my attention. She said she was going to have to pay $150,000 for a report, which I found...
Seems like a lot.
It's stupid, is what it is. It's ludicrous. It's absolutely ludicrous and and it's not necessary. So she asked me for help. She said, "Please go and research it. You're really great at technology. Maybe you can come up with something that could just help her. Maybe you can come up with some shortcut, something that we can do." I said, "Sure, I'll research." I was going to research it based on the fact that I was only going to help her. Okay. But as I started to research, I started to get very angry, because what I was learning was that ESG was a subject that was not difficult to understand. It was not challenging in order to actually extrapolate information that was necessary to the extractives community, and that they were being bamboozled. And once you learn that, and once Laurie gets angry, Laurie does something about it. So
you needed a solution.
I needed a solution, and not only that, I went to my partners, because since early days of another company that I had, we move in a pack. We invest in various opportunities that we find worthwhile, and so we did. We invested in this particular initiative. So, and we're debt-free and we're self-funded, and we do everything, on our own. And by doing so, we can bring solutions to the mining community and the oil and gas community and others, because we're a global company now with a global platform that serves other industries as well: chemical, transportation, farming, the agribusiness. which includes wineries.
It does include wineries.
It includes wineries and other industries, financial as well. And we have been able to, since the date that we had, from the date of that conversation with my friend to March the 11th of 2021.
My birthday.
Oh!
Not 2021, but today.
Happy belated.
Thank you.
And happy forthcoming. We launched with 5 customers on the system. And from that day to this day, which is December 1st.
December 1st today.
December 1st of 2022, we now have over 100 customers on the system.
Wow, that's
We have
amazing.
grown.
Congratulations.
Thank you very much. I'm very proud of that. I'm very proud of it because it took 3 women that were really ticked off, and we were really ticked off.
We know how that goes with women.
Yes, to actually design and craft a system that is really responding to the community. And we did it with 3 things. Number 1, we turned ESG on its head. We made it simple for users to adopt and to use every day. And we get results. And I'll tell you how. Yesterday, I almost killed myself going up the stairs.
And those nice shoes.
And these nice shoes, and these beautiful shoes. What happened was that one of my customers wanted to get my attention, and the attention was very dramatic. He was on cloud 9 yesterday, and he tried to grab, now the stairs are rather short, and so the heel doesn't touch the entire portion of the stair. He pulled me from the back. I almost fell backwards. 2 guys had to grab me, otherwise I was going to kill myself.
No.
I asked him what he was trying to do. Now, I come from the financial sector. I am all things capital markets. I used to be a trader. I used to build securities exchange systems and trading systems. And one of my systems has become a world-class system where all broker-dealers are on it around the world. It's called Broadridge. Okay? Well, he came up, and in those days, with the broker community, broker-dealer community, and in the capital markets, this is what you hear all the time. What have you done for me lately? Not thank you very much for what you've been able to do for me. So what have you done for me lately? Well, this customer was on cloud 9 yesterday, and he said that it had been a long, long time where they had been trying to close a financing round. And he said to me, you have the best software system in the world.
Wow.
And I said,
that's a nice compliment.
So I asked him if he could come up to the dais and announce it to everyone, please.
Yes, let everyone know.
Let everyone know. And he did say he was telling everyone he could think of. And apparently, due to the fact that we are a very data-rich and very numerical centric and metric-centric system, he was able to close the round. $100 million in today's hard, capital markets and economy.
So he owes you a bottle of wine.
At least. A really good Brunello, please.
Right, a really good Brunello. Now, I want to jump to something that people might not know about you. And that is that you won Top 100 Most Powerful Women in Canada. That is a hard title to earn.
Thank you.
Tell me how you earned that title.
Well, it's my 3rd time winning it. The first 2 times was for entrepreneurship, and apparently I'm very resilient and I've gone through a lot of hard knocks. It's not easy. However, this one meant a lot to me, and it was personal to me because I'm rather on an age at this point in my life, and it took me all these years to finally, after 6 companies, to be and 3 of them I sold and exited very successfully, to be realized for STEM, for science, technology, engineering, and math. It only took all these years later to finally be recognized as a technologist.
And why do you think it took so long?
I'm not going to start bashing the world. We're still struggling to be recognized in that field. You know, there are many more women coming along in STEM. Now we've finally gone over the 60% threshold in universities. There are 60% of graduates that are female coming out of university in maths, engineering, technology, and science, which is brilliant. However, in order to land positions and in order to achieve a modicum of success is still difficult, because the bastion of industry that we live in is male dominant. And that is something that is a fact.
Now, do you see that changing in the years to come?
Absolutely.
And what do you think will create that change?
The fact that there are more women coming out of STEM,
showing interest.
Becoming much more interested in these types of industries. I think where we have to do better is that the mining community has to partner with universities and get the channels into those universities so that they draw from to make the industry a lot more recognized and a lot easier for women to come into. For example, in the old days when they were coming into law, they were churning women like crazy because of the fact that women have children. And so they would tell you, all of a sudden they would come in for a year, come in for 2 years, and then of course that they would get married and have children, and they were out of the legal system for many years. However, when they would come back, they found that they would have to start all over again, and it was harder. In this community, they have to learn that maybe a flexible work environment for women is logical and
feasible.
And correctly so feasible. I have 4 children.
Wow.
I have 4 children. I was on the trading floor. I managed to do a lot of things that today actually is harder for women. And I don't understand why. My flexibility came from the fact that I was always a leader, and I had little offices beside me that I could take my kids to. And it helps.
Yes, it does help.
So I had some perhaps advantages. But it's a hard road.
Laurie, you mentioned that ESG software has gotten a bit of a bad rap over the years. Can you tell us why?
Okay, in the 1980s, in the capital market circles, one of the saddest occurrences was that there were software companies and technology companies that were coming up every day. And do you remember the dot-com craze and the dot-com, and there was the dot-com bubble and then the dot-com explosion that destroyed everything. The reason why that happened was that there was no due diligence that was conducted. Funny enough, it's still happening. What happened with what is it, RTX? Okay, RTX. FTX, thank you. I should know this, okay? I should know this. FTX. Where's the due diligence? It's obvious. If the CEO is rooming with 2 other kids, okay, somewhere outside of the country, it's not a good, brand. It should send some red flags to a few people.
Yes.
In those days also, there were many technology companies, their fundamentals were just out of whack. There was no reason for anyone to invest in these companies, and people did. Why? The same thing is happening now with ESG reporting software, and it really is quite concerning. Our system is based on what we used to do in the discipline of the capital markets. We have a very robust, fulsome software system, okay?
Which I think our audience would like to know as well, that you won Best ESG Software. So not only did you win...
By Ernst & Young, no less.
That is incredible.
By Ernst & Young.
Did you win both of these awards in the same year?
We did.
That's an exciting year for you.
It was, the week before was the top 100, and the week later we won the
Best ESG Software.
Best 2022 ESG Software. And we won it in 2021 as well. This year, though, they put us up against some of the big boys. They put us through our paces. We had to be audited because it's Ernst & Young. So we had some financial reviews, and they also contacted our customers.
Wow.
So it was
well deserved.
It was really daunting.
Congratulations.
Thank you very much. I'm very, very proud of that.
You should be.
Thank you.
Yeah. Now, how do you see things going in the industry in the next, say, year or even few months?
I think a lot of companies are going to be very concerned. It's going to be a hard one for them. 2024, the mandate is given. It is going to be mandated around the world. Right now, Europe is already mandated. The UK, so the SEC has stated quite clearly that it will be mandated in the US by 2024 for both public and private companies. This is going to cause a heck of a disruption. Private companies especially, they are not even close to being ready for this. Canada, the IROC and OSC has come out and stated quite clearly that in 2024 this is going to be mandatory for public companies. Both have said that in 2025 penalties are going to start incurring to anyone that does not disclose their performance. And so, okay, an ESG disclosure performance to meet their obligations. The UK is even more stringent. Australia is going to be coming online the same as Canada, public companies. These companies are not ready for this. And because the regulators are stating that all of this information has to be in different technological outputs. For example, in the old days, nobody understood what the term XML meant. Now everybody does, right? Whereas the regulators want it in an XBRL output. I know this is all technologicalese, weird kind of, terminology. What it means, you can't hire a consultant to do XBRL. You're not going to be able to pay $150,000 and meet the reporting obligations. You need a software system, a real software system to do that.
Now, what do you think investors and our viewers should know? What's the most important message that you would like to get across?
ESG is about money. ESG is about meeting your performance obligations. ESG does not have to be costly. Our plans start at $7,500 US per annum.
That's very reasonable.
You do not have to hurt your company in order to disclose. The reason I came out of retirement to do this is because I was seeing companies being taken advantage of for no reason. Therefore, do get onto a software system that will help you, that will take control of your disclosures and guide you through the process so that you do meet your regulatory obligations in a reasonable way without hurting your financial bottom line and not be bamboozled.
Fair enough. Laurie, it sounds like you have had a very successful couple of years. I think everyone's happy to have you out of retirement, and your services have been very influential and beneficial to these companies, and I can't wait to see and hear how your company expands in the years to come.
Thank you very much.
Thank you so much for sitting down.
Thank you very much for inviting me, and it has been a pleasure.
Thank you, Laurie. All the best in the years to come.
Thank you so much.